Hey everyone, welcome to series three again with Bonita Habils. Am I saying that right?
Habils.
Habils. You may need to correct me a few times just to make sure I'm getting that right.
That's okay.
Uh, um, so how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. It's quite weird because just before we get into the questions, I seem to, although I'm based in London and this whole Melody of Music is based in London, the live gigs are based in London, the amount of Australian musicians I seem to find coming onto the show. Um, yeah, I
I
mean,
think it's really cool.
yeah, I mean, majority of them are Brisbane based, of course, but you're from Melbourne, so a slight
I
change.
am. Yeah.
So how before we get into the sort of questions, how do you find the music scene in Melbourne?
I'm actually from a part of Melbourne that's more along the coast.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not really based in the city, so I kind of live on the peninsula. Um, and the gigs are kind of scarce, but they're there.
Oh, okay.
Um, you get better gigs in Melbourne, but I get my fair share down here, so that's good.
Because I've never been to Melbourne. I've got family in sort of Brisbane, the Sunshine Coast, that sort of thing, um, and Sydney, where I grew up. I've never been to Brisbane, not Brisbane, Melbourne. My brain is just in a fritz. It's just as bear in mind for everyone. I'm filming this in June, where outside I've literally you can hear my fan in the background. It's like 30 degrees. So, bear with me on my mind going a bit crazy. Um, yeah. So, how's it in Melbourne, right? Regardless of the music scene, how is that kind of growing up there?
Well, I love Melbourne. It's the fashion capital of Australia, I'm pretty sure. And it's where all the, you know, creative people are, I think. And like, it's kind of what it's known for. So I love it. And I love the city. I love going into the city. Um, because there's just so many cool places there and there's lots of art everywhere. It's sick. I love it so much. I
How,
wouldn't be anywhere else.
fair enough. How do you think it rivals with the other cities in Australia?
Well, Melbourne's the best,
Yeah.
obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, for
See,
sure.
I although I'm from Sydney, I will not say Sydney's the best, just because I feel like it's too touristy. Um,
I like Sydney, but I feel like Melbourne has more of like a homely feel.
yeah, yeah, Sydney's a bit bit more of a city kind of
Yeah.
situation there. I do like Brisbane though.
Yeah,
Um,
I do like Brisbane.
yeah, they've got this kind of brings me on to your sort of music because you're a bit more kind of a little bit more soulful, has a bit of a pop kind of feel, whereas a lot of the artists that I've kind of interviewed from Brisbane are all sort of kind of folk
Hmm.
kind of musicians. What do you feel like there's that kind of shift with Brisbane having folk and Melbourne being a bit more pop
Um,
culture kind of feel?
I mean, I do have other friends in the music industry, and they're definitely folk. And then I have some, you know, more pop style type of artists that I'm friends with. I personally feel like there wasn't really much of a change like between like Brisbane and Melbourne. I feel like it's just kind of like what music you're drawn to. I
Hmm.
feel. Yeah.
Okay. So I do have generally some overall questions. This is a different setup. I've got my iPad here to kind of help me with this. Um, so just some generic questions, which I ask all the everyone on the show. So out of all the songs that you've written, I know you've got four out at the moment, but maybe you've written some more. What is your favorite one that you've written so far?
Oh, I love this question. My favorite song that I've ever written, I writ when I was 15. Writ? wrote wrote when I was
Dang.
15. Um, and it's called Cruel Desires. And even though I had never been in any type of relationship before, I wrote this banger of a song about really toxic relationships. And it is, yeah, I love it. I love it. Best song I've ever written.
So actually, that's a curious one because I've found, like even myself, I found myself writing about topics that even though I haven't been through it because of I feel like because of social media and all of that, you kind of get a glimpse into other people's lives and can kind of,
Yeah,
you know about the topics enough to then write about
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's like a mix of that, and also I think I just have like a wild imagination.
it.
Um, Especially when I was 15. Um, so I think I was just, I don't know, something about that topic at that time for me just did it, I guess.
Just gelled.
Yeah, just gelled with me.
Oh, nice. So, out of curiosity, you said you wrote that when you were 15. So, how
Hmm.
long ago was that?
Well, I'm 17, turning 18 now, so I would have 2 years ago. I dropped
Okay.
maths when I was in year 10, so like I'm that.
Uh, don't don't worry. Musicians primarily don't need to be good at maths.
Yeah.
Um, so, what's your I don't know how many performances you've done. I've seen you've done a few.
Hmm.
You recently had one where you looked like it was a very exclusive sort of event that you went
Yeah,
to. What was
yeah.
that before I get on to the next one?
Um, so that was the Melbourne soccer team. Um, and it was the Melbourne Victory Luncheon. So they had the grand final the next day against the other Melbourne team, and it was at the Crown, in the Palladium, which is like a big big hotel in Melbourne, and a very famous room inside that hotel. And luckily enough, I got to play there, and it was insane. Biggest gig I've ever done. It's 1,000 people there, and
Did you play
um,
to the players and like was it
yeah,
oh my God.
yeah, everyone, the players, the coach, the
Jesus.
marketing team, like everyone there. That
Um
was my sister. I'm really sorry.
that's fine. I'm just waiting for my dog to start barking at some point. Um so I think yeah, that's just insane. Like you're 17,
Yeah,
you've then been brought to this very prestigious event. Like
yeah.
that must have been really, I mean, I suppose nerve-wracking, but also very exciting.
I think I was more excited
Yeah.
than nerve-wracking. I think I was super excited. I know when I was in the green room, I was freaking out, but when I heard about it, I was ecstatic. I mean, like I've been performing since I was like 6,
Hmm.
so like
It's like second
it doesn't.
nature.
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me that much. And I love performing, and I actually think it was the most fun I've ever had performing at
Yeah,
that
right.
gig.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, this brings us nicely onto what I was going to ask was, so what's your favorite song to perform out of all of your repertoire?
Originals or like my whole
Uh,
repertoire in general?
do you want to do an original and then say generally the repertoire?
Yeah. Um, Out of all my originals, my favorite one to perform is Warm Bodies. I love
Okay.
the way that I wrote the chords on the guitar. Um, I just find it easy to groove to that song, and it's yeah, I love that one. And then out of my whole repertoire, probably a cult classic, and I feel like I'm gonna get hate for this, but Riptide. Easiest song,
Hmm.
easiest song to play, and I love how easy it is. But I love singing it.
Yeah.
I think it's a
No,
really cool song to
it's a,
sing.
it's a great song. It's a great song.
Yeah.
Like you can't go wrong with a bit of Riptide, and I can hear my dog in the background. Um, so yeah, so then of course we've got like influences which we'll get onto later in the music industry as well. Um, but is there anyone in particular who inspired you to start making your music and start becoming a artist and a creator?
Um, Definitely Billie Eilish.
Hmm.
I love her. She has she's insane. She's just that's all I can say. She's insane. And also C Rose. Do you know that artist?
I haven't heard of Zeros before. I need to go and have a listen after this.
They are beautiful. I like the lyrics are just like seriously the most insane lyrics I've ever heard anyone write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, when I started getting into Billie Eilish, it was when an interview came out where she and her brother Phineas were talking about um, Bad Guy, and they
Oh
were just
yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, so we're just walking across one of the Australian stoppings, and we just recorded the du-du-du-du-du-du, and just included that in Bad Guy." And I was there just listening, going, "Yes, there's a bit of Australia
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
hit song."
Yeah. I
Um,
When I heard that I was like, no way she put that in a song. Like that's crazy. But I mean it works. So
it
like
works. And
yeah.
also, it's out of all the things in Australia to include in a
Yeah.
hit song, you include the traffic stop light on
Yeah.
the sound.
Like that's the weirdest thing to include. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a hit song, so they did something
Definitely.
right. Um, so another one which is a general one, and a lot of these general ones, as you've probably seen on the Melody Music Instagram, are
Yeah.
used as kind of they're snippets together of all the artists in the series. Um, so if you wanted to re-record any song as a cover in the big wide world of all the songs that exist across time, what would you release? And maybe not
Damn.
Riptide. Maybe not Riptide.
Um, that's a really hard question. Um, re-record any song. Well, here's a funny one. I would probably re-record "Love the Way You Lie" by Eminem and Rihanna and turn it into a ballad.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but that's literally what I'm currently doing for my um like VCE schooling, and I'm in love with the way it sounds, and it has like this beautiful piano part. So I think I would do that. I
Mm,
think it would be a hit.
mm. See, that just brings me back to when I was in college, and my teacher basically said to me, re-record Wonderwall as a disco song. I absolutely hated
Wow. Oh my god.
it.
That's insane.
Yeah, it did
That would
not
hurt
turn
my
out great.
feelings.
It did not turn out great. That song is not meant for disco.
Yeah, wow.
Um, but yeah, no, that seems like a really cool ballad. Um, would you keep the rapping, or would it just be like soulful, like ballady Rihanna?
Singing. I'd keep the lyrics of it,
Mm,
and the pace of the rapping, but I would sing it.
that would be
It seems
difficult.
hard to imagine.
Ooh.
It works. It
You got
works. Trust me, I've done
okay,
it. It
okay,
works.
okay. I'll wait for you to like upload it onto YouTube or something for me to have a
Oh,
listen.
I'll upload it on my Instagram
There we go.
when I
Yeah.
finish it, I promise.
I'm very curious to see how that sounds. Very curious.
Hopefully it's good. Hopefully.
Well, if it's not, you can always archive it afterwards. You can
True.
see the reactions.
Just be like, everyone will be like, yeah.
So we've gotten past sort of like the fun kind of questions.
Yes.
Now to delve a little bit deeper into yourself as a
Mhm.
person, as a brand, as a musician, as an artist. Um, so when you're songwriting, would you say, because of course a lot of artists now, especially as you mentioned Billie Eilish, um, they write as a form of therapy. So how has music sort of helped you navigate your anxiety and improving your mental health?
Um, I think I feel things really deeply, and um, I've had, anxiety and depression for as long as I can remember. And I feel like music has always been my kind of outlet because I didn't really know how to process the feelings, I guess.
Mm,
And writing about the things that I'm feeling literally just gives me a way where I can just decompress. Because I feel like I can't really do it any other way.
mm,
Um, and it saves me from talking to people about my problems. I
yeah.
can just talk to my guitar about it. And I I like that more, I think.
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting because back in oh God, way back in series one, um, I was talking with a Canadian artist called Western Jaguar, and like some of the songs that he's written, like one of them was called Victim, and he was talking about how he sort of wrote it from the point of view where um, people feel not victimized as such, but feel like they kind of need to regain control of themselves and stuff, and their opinion of themselves and everything, and not have those outside views and everything. Kind of paraphrase. I'm paraphrasing
Yeah.
parts of the interview. Um, but we got into the conversation of music being an outlet for mental health, and I'm saying what I said in series one, where do go to therapy if you feel like it, because it is incredibly useful. But music and creative outlets, painting, poetry, etc., is all very, very. It's good for the soul, I feel.
Mm, I agree with that.
Um, and yeah, and it's great that you found this way of kind of
Mm,
finding out, okay, well, I like Billie Eilish, I like Lana Del Rey, I like these other artists, and I'll use them and have a positive spin on things.
yeah.
So that's really good.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, so then going past that, so you started for writing for mental health and everything like that, and then you did singing lessons from, as you said, you've been performing since you were like tiny. Um, so how did that shape your relationship with music? And am I thinking that you've also started teaching other people how to sing as well?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I have.
that's a fun challenge.
Very fun challenge for sure. Um, well, how singing lessons kind of shaped my relationship. I loved music before my singing lessons, but I didn't write anything. Obviously, I was six,
Hmm.
so I hadn't written anything yet or done anything like that. And I met my singing teacher, and she, um, got me into writing songs. And
Hmm.
she had songwriting workshops, and she was like, "Just come along, you'll have fun." Um, and I would go along, and I'd make these ridiculously stupid songs. But I guess I think I realized or felt a connection
Hmm.
with writing music, and I kind of think I just kind of knew then, at the ripe age of like 6 or 7, that music is my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of come full circle because now you can kind of inspire people as well now going forward.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I hope that my little students, they see what I do and they think, oh my God, I want to do that when I get older. And
I
I hope
mean,
people listen to my music and think that too.
I mean, it's funny because I've been releasing music since, oh God, I can't even, 2019, earlier than
Oh,
that.
wow.
But I work in a school,
Hmm.
and I'm so glad my students have not found this podcast as of yet. But they found my music when I first started working at the school, like immediately, and just now they come around and just play my music in front of me. I'm just like, right, why don't you use that as a chance to you go and try and create your own thing? Why are you just listening to my stuff on
Yeah,
repeat?
literally.
Um, and I said, you know what? Listen to it, not in front of me. You can listen to it in your own time. Just don't play it in front of me.
Yeah,
Which probably eggs them on, actually. I should probably just accept it.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of you being influenced by your singing teacher and now going on and sort of having a career where you can show your students and stuff, your debut song, Court Released, has got over 40,000 streams. Uh, and this is kind of, you're only 17, you got over 40,000 streams, you've played to Melbourne Victory players, and you've kind of been brought into the spotlight a little bit quite quickly. um, so, how has that changed your approach to kind of writing and recording and promoting your music?
Um, well, first of all, I should probably say it was a massive shock to me that I got like that many streams. Still is, if you saw my smile when you said that. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think I've been kind of nervous about releasing my other songs because I'm like, I had such a great first release.
Mm,
Um, but I think I kind of got into the thought process of it doesn't have to be 40,000, 30,000, 100,000, whatever. Just like if my music can touch at least one person and they can relate to that and I can help them with that,
mm.
then that's all that really matters, I think. And yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what music is kind of all about, isn't it? Like a lot of
Mm.
artists now, when they're performing stuff, are all sort of saying, "Listen, when I wrote them, the song was for me. Now that it's out there, it's not really for me anymore. It's for all of you to have your own imprint on whatever that may look like."
I relate to that so much. I mean, I think my parents wanted me to release my first song, and I was like, "They're mine, though." And then, yeah, they kind of put it in perspective for me, and now they're for everybody, I think.
Mm. So, of course, with your song "Court Released," you I've kind of been, as I've sort of said earlier, and you've mentioned Billie Eilish, Lana Del Rey. Is there anyone that I'm missing? And Lord. Um, are those kind of artists the style that you're wanting to write? Is that sort of how do you feel that because of course those are brilliant artists in themselves. Um, how does that compliment kind of feel to you with the fact that your music's kind of being compared to those level of artists?
Well, I mean, it feels like it's crazy. Like, I mean, it's hard for me to comprehend because um, I'm only 17, and when I released couldn't release, I was 16. Um, so it's kind of like a whoa kind of moment for me. Um, but it's an amazing compliment. I mean, I love those artists. I love Billie Eilish. I love Lana Del Rey. I love Lana Del Rey, and I love Lord. So it's like a massive compliment, and yeah, yeah,
You sort of lost for words a little
yeah, a little.
bit. Okay, well, why don't we go back? So, oh, that one I've already kind of asked when I was talking about the difference between the music scenes in Australia. Um, I mean, out of curiosity, uh, have you been to any other parts of the world where you've seen different parts of the music industry?
I've been to America
Okay.
and I've been to Singapore
Whereabouts in
and
America have you?
like everywhere. I've been a couple times with my family, and they love to take me to um like little music places.
Okay.
Um, I went when I was younger, which I think helped shape my love for music.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think Los Angeles. There's lots of buskers.
Hmm.
Um, basically everywhere there's buskers, and like just walking past them, and they're pretty talented. And
Yeah.
it was like, as a 14-year-old, it was really like I want to do that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's funny because we've had artists, of course, I said Brisbane's, now yourself from Melbourne. We've had an artist from Chicago, an artist from LA, funnily enough. Um, then a bunch of artists from around England as well. Um, so before we move on to the overall second part where we'll stop and everyone can have a listen to the next episode with the second part. Just pulling up the. Where's my? Do I not have it on here? Hang on, give me 1 second.
that's
Um,
all good.
so what I've done is, of course, you're featuring in playlists for melody and music. The two that are featuring in the top 100 playlist for melody and music are Underdressed and Good Girl. So, out of curiosity, where do you think I'm having a look for it for, myself just to make sure I've got the right numbers? Where do you think they feature on the melody and music playlist?
Like what number?
Yeah.
I feel like underdressed has got to be like. Do I have to give you a specific number?
Just give me a range of where you think it might be.
Like 70s?
So, Underdressed is 39 on the melody
No.
music playlist.
Um. Okay. Is Good Girl higher or lower? Like, am I?
Lower because it was more recent, so it hasn't gotten the amount of streams just yet.
Okay. 70s for that one.
64.
Oh,
So it's rising. It's getting up there.
that was close though.
You were close. Yeah, it's definitely getting up there. Um, yeah, how does that feel, the fact that there's artists from England, from America, from Australia? There's an artist from, I think, Sweden, artists from all over the place. How does it feel to be that high up?
I mean, well, it's a massive compliment. Um, and it makes me really happy to know that people like my music and, you know, think it's worth that being high. And yeah, people like it enough to put me on playlists. I think it's so cool. Yeah.
Well, before we move on to the end of this first part of this interview, um, as you're still making music in the music industry, obviously, um,
Mhm.
as you're sort of creating the foundation yourself, because of course you are 17, but you do have a foundation, or at least you've just started it. Um, what advice would you give to people who haven't began creating music at all that want to?
Hmm. Don't be hesitant about it. People aren't gonna judge you. And if you want it, just do it. I think I just quoted Nike.
It's fine. That I don't think this podcast gets as many views as Nike ads probably do, so I think we're safe from anyone being sued. Um, but yeah, no, that great. And any new musicians listening to this podcast, listen to that advice, listen to all the other advice that musicians will give throughout series three, and also advice in previous series as well, because it's all very valuable. And yeah, so this is where sort of at the end of part one of Melody of Music introduces Bonita Habils. Um, and yeah, uh, where can people find your Instagram, TikTok, anything like that?
I'm sorry, what do you mean by that?
Or your handle for, do you know what your Instagram handle is? Or
Oh,
TikTok handle?
yeah, it's sorry. I like
You just spaced
right
out.
now. I've had a full day of school and I had a sack today. So I'm so sorry.
That's fine, don't worry.
Um, you can find my Instagram at Bonita Habils _music.
Cool. And yeah, and of course you can find clips of all these interviews and other things on Melody Music Official on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, wherever else there is on social media. And yeah, so thank you for joining for part one, and we'll see you in part two of this interview.
Yeah.